On behalf of the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps Unit, University of Colorado, we welcome our distinguished guests, unit staff, and family and friends of the commissionees to our Spring 2020 commission ceremony. It is with great pride that we present the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps graduates of the Spring 2020 class. Please note this ceremony will be an uncovered event for all military members in the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to introduce the commanding officer, Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps, University of Colorado, Colonel Thomas Dodds.
All right, it's time to get fired up. We have 16 exceptional young humans about ready to enter the naval services. So good morning. On behalf of the University of Colorado's midshipmen, active duty students, and staff, welcome. You've come to witness a milestone in the lives of these young men and women. Commissioning is the very foundation of their service as professional officers in the naval services. I'd like to virtually welcome the family and the friends of our 16 commissionees. Hopefully all are healthy and safe. We're commissioning them today because of your support. No young officer travels this path alone. It is a great opportunity for us all to support these young ladies and gentlemen as they start their careers as naval officers. For those being commissioned today, long road, a lot of work, great job, and job well done. So I'd like to take a moment to recognize a few people. Dr. Mary Krause, Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education, who manages, among many numerous activities, the 3 ROTC programs on campus. And we get great support from her and her staff. Retired Navy Captain Cress Bernard, a great benefactor of this program through the Haberzettel and Bernard Scholarship. Commander Morgan, retired, former CO and XO of this unit. He will be presenting the Admiral Arleigh Burke Award. Mr. Andrew Carter of the Eternal Valor Foundation will be presenting the James Cathy Leadership Award. Retired Navy Captain Stu Elliott, the Director of Veteran and Military Affairs at the university, another huge supporter of this program. Dr. William Doe, retired Army officer, and he currently serves as a Research Development Manager in the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Mr. Lloyd Thrall served as a Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Force Readiness, also served with 1st Ranger Battalion, and is currently the Associate Director and Scholar in Resident at the College of Engineering and Applied Science. And finally, most closely to our heart throughout CU's NROTC program is Mr. Sid Gustafson. He served on the CU Physics Department staff, and he served as a Marine in the 1970s. He is an exceptional mentor to myself, the staff, and all the midshipmen and active duty students within this unit. So once again, thank you very much, Sid. I want to acknowledge Boulder's Admiral Arleigh Burke chapter of the Military Officers Association of America, as they provide each of our new officers their first gold bar rank insignia, represented by retired Navy Lieutenant Commander Jim Moorfield. So finally, if there's any military veterans in the audience, thanks for your service. That service has been the bedrock of today's military. And for those that are currently in the uniform, we're indebted to you. So thank you very much. I need to point out that this ceremony has taken on numerous iterations due to COVID-19. So I hope that we didn't inconvenience the families or the commissionees to that great of extent. Captain Colgrove and Midshipman Bonilla have been the primary architects in the planning and execution of this evolving event. So I want to thank them for their work and their adaptability. Thank you, gentlemen. Now to our newest and soon-to-be fellow officers. Welcome to the wardroom. I encourage you to contemplate the oath that you will take before those today, to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. Those are some pretty heavy words. This oath is your guidance as you go forth to do your nation's bidding. Strive to bring meaning to those words. And allow that meaning to grow as you grow in your military service. Remain true to your oath and let it be your compass. Today, you are provided the legal authority, responsibility, and most importantly, accountability to fulfill that oath. Remember the constitutional paradigm and the priority of loyalties: Constitution, mission, service, unit, shipmate, and finally self. As many have said before, specifically the former chairman and the Joint Chiefs, it's not about you anymore. You are now a servant to the Constitution, the mission, and specifically those in your charge. Your experience at this university will serve as your foundation for years to come. Trust that foundation, trust your judgment, and trust yourself. Your foundation was built by your family and loved ones and solidified by this exceptional education you got here at the University of Colorado. It was further hardened through any prior service you may have, your own life experiences, the training you received here, your classes, your interactions with the NROTC staff. It all adds up and to build and harden that foundation. Others will definitely test that foundation. They will test your judgment. Hear them out, listen to their logic, but also rely on your training, your foundation, your instincts, and then make the best decision possible. After all, the responsibility is now with you. Also understand that you will fail at times. I don't care how long you've been in the service, how many billets you have had, you will fail at times. How you respond to that failure will determine your continued potential as a leader. Own it, learn from it, and move on, because you are always learning as a leader. 31 years here, and I am still learning. And I got a vast amount of knowledge that I still need to learn as a leader. Be proud of your personal service to this nation. An extremely small percentage are willing to raise their right hand and serve. Be proud of what you do. Be proud of who you serve with, and be proud of who you do it for, the United States of America. In closing, please remember, on many, and we've talked about these before, whether you're in my NAVAR class or lead lab. But now I'm talking to you as future officers. On many occasions, the right decision will usually be the toughest and most unpopular decision you have to make. Spend your mental energy on those things in your control, primarily your attitude and your response to different and difficult situations. Be firm, fair, and positive, and always lend a helping hand to those in need. Serve the mission and your team by ensuring your unit is well prepared. Train and condition your people so hard that they can't fail. Be strong, confident, yet humble and selfless up and down the chain of command. Understand your operating environment. Understand the terrain, and always operate from the moral high ground. Finally, and I'll say this again, most people are sick of hearing it, self-reflection. Understand the leader you are, the leader you want to be, understand the gap in between, and do everything you can to close that gap. Again, thanks to everyone that can make it to this virtual world to support our new ensigns and second lieutenants. On behalf of the staff and myself and Sid, we're all extremely proud of your accomplishments and what you're going to do in the future. And we're proud that you're willing to serve. We're confident that you will do your university, the naval services, your families, and our great nation proud. So get fired up, have a great commissioning, but remember, after this, it's time to get it on. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And now to pay respect to the great leaders that have come before us, the graduating class has selected a Medal of Honor recipient they wish to honor in today's ceremony. We request that all active duty personnel to please stand as Staff Sergeant Scott Seitz reads the Medal of Honor citation for Lance Corporal Miguel Keith.
The President of the United States, in the name of the Congress, takes pride in presenting the Medal of Honor posthumously to Lance Corporal Miguel Keith, United States Marine Corps, for services set forth in the following citation. For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity, at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as a machine gunner with Combined Action Platoon 132, 3rd Marine Amphibious Force operating in Quang Ngai Province, Republic of Vietnam. During the early morning of 8 May 1970, Lance Corporal Keith was seriously wounded when his platoon was subjected to a heavy ground attack by a greatly outnumbering enemy force. Despite his painful wounds, he ran across the fire-swept terrain to check the security of vital defensive positions, and then, while completely exposed to view, proceeded to deliver a hail of devastating machine gun fire against the enemy. Determined to stop 5 of the enemy approaching the command post, he rushed forward, firing as he advanced. He succeeded in disposing of 3 of the attackers and dispersing the remaining 2. At this point, a grenade detonated near Lance Corporal Keith, knocking him to the ground and inflicting further severe wounds. Fighting pain and weakness from loss of blood, he again braved the concentrated hostile fire to charge an estimated 25 enemy soldiers who were massing to attack. The vigor of his assault and his well-placed fire eliminated 4 of the enemy, while the remainder fled for cover. During this valiant effort, he was mortally wounded by an enemy soldier. By his courageous and inspiring performance in the face of almost overwhelming odds, Lance Corporal Keith contributed in large measure to the success of his platoon in routing a numerically superior enemy force, upholding the finest traditions of the Marine Corps and the United States Naval Service.
Thank you, Staff Sergeant Seitz. Colonel Dodds will now administer the oath of office.
If I could get the commissionees to unmute, assume a position of attention, and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Scott
McGuire,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
I take this
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
on which I am about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
Help me,
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. An additional award is presented to a deserving newly commissioned Navy officer from the University of Colorado who has exhibited exceptional leadership abilities and has been selected in part by their peers. This award is generously sponsored by Commander Walt Morgan, United States Navy retired, in memory of Admiral Arleigh Burke. Presenting this year's Admiral Arleigh Burke Award is Commander Morgan.
Congratulations to all of our new commissionees, and thank you for your choice to raise your right hand and swear to serve something bigger than yourself. The Admiral Arleigh Burke Leadership Award is given to the outstanding Navy midshipman or officer candidate in the commissioning year group. The award's namesake, Admiral Arleigh Burke, was a Boulder native, described as the most significant historical figure to have lived in Boulder. He grew up on a farm just over on Baseline, not far from the university. He became the Navy's greatest destroyer man, and his battle successes as a destroyer squadron commander in World War II are legendary, relentless in battle. He later served an unprecedented 3 terms as the Chief of Naval Operations, which is the Navy's senior ranking officer, and oversaw a period of remarkable growth for the Navy during the Cold War. He is memorialized by a class of destroyers which bear his name. He is regarded as a sailor's sailor, and appropriately, the one-word epitaph on his grave marker simply says, sailor. The Arleigh Burke Award and the associated sword that goes with it was initiated by the Perrion family of North Carolina in 2013. Chris Perrion was a Naval Academy graduate like Admiral Arleigh Burke, and his son Alex commissioned into the Navy at the University of Colorado in 2012. I speak with Chris Perrion regularly, and he is fond of saying this: when we honor the best among us, we honor all of us, and it unites us. My wife Dana and I are honored to have taken over sponsorship of the award. I am a proud graduate of the University of Colorado Naval ROTC program, and then some 20 years later served as the executive officer of CU Naval ROTC in my final Navy tour. I am proud to say that I have witnessed the mental and physical and moral growth of many midshipmen, officer candidates, and MESAPs that have earned their commission from the University of Colorado. And on to this year's awardee. This year's recipient of the Admiral Arleigh Burke Award and associated sword is Midshipman First Class Natalie Morrissey. Congratulations, Natalie. May the example of Admiral Arleigh Burke guide you as you embrace the responsibility for leading our sailors to mission success. Very well done, and congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commander Morgan, for your continued support. And congratulations, Midshipman First Class Morrison. The James Cathy Leadership Award was established by the Eternal Valor Foundation as a way of honoring the sacrifice of a UC Boulder alumnus and one of our nation's heroes. James Cathy enlisted in the Marine Corps in February 1998 at age 17. He finished classes at Reno High School 2 months early to attend boot camp. In his brief but distinguished enlisted career, James served in Okinawa and East Timor. Through his leadership, his squad earned the coveted title of Super Squad for the 3rd Marine Division. His exceptional performance made him an ideal officer candidate. James was selected for the very competitive MESAP officer program here at UC Boulder. Again, excelling in every aspect of his life, he completed MESAP while earning 2 degrees in history and anthropology in just 3 years. Post-commissioning, James attended the basic officer course and infantry officer course in Quantico, Virginia. There, he created a series of bonds with his classmates, exemplifying to them the ideal Marine Corps officer and setting the standard for which they would all strive to be throughout their careers. James was assigned as a platoon commander in Gulf Company, 2nd Battalion, 2nd Marines in 2005. 3 months after reporting, the battalion deployed to Fallujah, Iraq. James served his nation proudly, leading his Marines from the front in dozens of counterinsurgency operations. Lieutenant James Cathy was killed while securing an elementary school just northeast of Fallujah, Iraq in August 2005. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. In a brief address at his funeral, his mother described James as a humble, selfless romantic. He had a smile that would light up a room. He had those blue eyes that could talk without saying a word, she said. His life was short, but he accomplished a lot. Maybe we should all strive to be a little more like James. A Semper Scholarship in his name is given at the Reno High School graduation each year. The Eternal Valor Foundation was established by a group of James' closest friends. These Marines dedicate the James Cathy Leadership Award each year at James' beloved alma mater to a deserving Marine officer candidate who exemplifies James' leadership and character. The foundation hopes that through James' example, a new generation of Marine leaders will strive to continue to serve our nation proudly as James did and in the best traditions of our beloved Corps. Here today to present the James Cathy Leadership Award on behalf of the Eternal Valor Foundation is Mr. Andrew Carter. Mr. Carter was James' roommate at the Basic Officer Course and had the privilege of serving with Lieutenant Cathy in a sister platoon in 2005 during James' final deployment to Fallujah, Iraq. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Carter.
Hi, good morning. First, I'd like to thank the university and congratulate all those being commissioned today. I can tell you, besides those being recognized in their family, no one appreciates more what is happening than the Eternal Valor Foundation. Not just because we believe it's a continuation of an oath that began long before James Cathy, but we believe that through this oath and through your continued service, quite a bit of him remains immortal. I'd also like to thank the staff for what is always a seamlessly executed ceremony. I appreciate the reading of his bio every year in my introduction. I have to remain cognizant of the fact that every year that goes by, fewer and fewer people in the audience will know about James, know about his exceptional service and his sacrifice to our country. I know if I can add a little bit to those words, I tried to do so in the context of what I knew of him as a person. As it was said in the bio, I lived with James as a roommate for about 6 to 7 months in Quantico, Virginia, before we reported to 2-2 together, deploying to Fallujah, Iraq. I've now done this ceremony for at least 7 or 8 years now, and I don't think I've repeated a story about him yet, but at the risk of breaking that streak, there was one that seemed particularly poignant to me today, living through the events of COVID-19 here in New York. I'm happy to just say today's recipient is also a history major like James. I know in that context, he can appreciate fully the historical events that have happened across our country right now, and events that can only be such that are a destabilizing factor throughout the world. I can only imagine that those being commissioned today are going to see an entirely different operating environment than what I know James and I did many years ago. And although we know you're up to the task, it's going to be challenging. And we look forward to watching your service go by. I know you'll keep up the best traditions of the Corps, particularly in James's memory. The one story that I would like to repeat was while I was his roommate in about 2005, maybe 2004. I remember very clearly the battles of Fallujah kicking off. And after a long day of PT with our fellow TBS classmates, I remember him sitting down and absorbing the news through our computer as best as he could. I could tell he was visibly upset, and he wasn't a dramatic person, at least in that sense. And I remember asking him, what's going on, Kat? What's happening? And he looked at me, and he looked back at the screen that showed the news, and he said, "We're missing out on a part of history right now. This is where we should be right now. This is why we serve." I know that each of you are going to face similar challenges as James and I did, and I very much admire you for doing so. I'm sure you'll continue to serve in his greatest memory and in the greatest traditions of our Corps. I also know it's worthwhile to recognize one as a means of recognizing the many contributions of your service. And today, I'd like to present the James Cathy Leadership Award to Midshipman McMullen. who again, I've had a great opportunity to talk to, at least via email over the last few days, and I know will continue on, and James is a great example. Thank you again all, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Carter, for your continued support, and congratulations, Midshipman First Class McMullen. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the ceremonies for each commissionee in the spring 2020 class. Our first commissionee is Ensign Zachary Aldrich, Columbia, Maryland.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign Aldrich graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering. Ensign Aldrich will be assigned to the USS Tripoli in San Diego, California, designated Naval Surface Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Zachary Aldrich. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Evan Blaskowski, Pine, Colorado.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Blaskowski graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Neuroscience. Second Lieutenant Blaskowski will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Evan Blaskowski. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Meredith DeLong of State College, Pennsylvania.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant DeLong graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Environmental Design. Second Lieutenant DeLong will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Meredith DeLong. Next commissionee is Second Lieutenant John Fitzmaurice of Flagstaff, Arizona.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Fitzmaurice graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in History and a minor in Geography. Second Lieutenant Fitzmaurice will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant John Fitzmaurice. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Michael Hartley of Howell, Michigan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Hartley graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science. Second Lieutenant Hartley will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Michael Hartley. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Alejandro Irizarry of Woodinville, Washington.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Irizarry graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Philosophy and a minor in Leadership Studies. Second Lieutenant Irizarry will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Alejandro Irizarry. Our next commissionee is Ensign Tyler LaCroix of Mililani, Hawaii.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign LaCroix graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Computer Science. Ensign LaCroix will be assigned to the USS Sterett in San Diego, California, designated Naval Surface Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Tyler LaCroix. Our next commissionee is Ensign Shauna McGuire of Canandaigua, New York.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign McGuire graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Aerospace Engineering. Ensign McGuire will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida, designated Student Naval Aviator. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Shauna McGuire. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Alexander McLaren of Brighton, Michigan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant McLaren graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Electrical Engineering and a minor in Applied Mathematics. Second Lieutenant McLaren will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Alexander McLaren. Next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Tynan McMullen of Toma, Wisconsin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant McMullen graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in History. Second Lieutenant McMullen will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Tynan McMullen. Next commissionee is Ensign Natalie Morrissey of Eagle, Colorado.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign Morrissey graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Integrative Physiology and a minor in Leadership Studies. Ensign Morrissey will be assigned to Aviation Pre-Flight Indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida, designated Student Naval Flight Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Natalie Morrissey. Next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Cody Osteen of Gypsum, Colorado.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Osteen graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in both integrative physiology and Russian studies. Second Lieutenant Osteen will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Cody Osteen. Our next commissionee is Second Lieutenant Scott Seitz of Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Second Lieutenant Seitz graduated with a Bachelor of Science in both finance and real estate. Second Lieutenant Seitz will be assigned to the Basic School in Quantico, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, Second Lieutenant Scott Seitz. Next commissionee is Ensign Andrew Spitzer of Gig Harbor, Washington.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign Spitzer graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical and computer engineering. Ensign Spitzer will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida, designated Student Naval Aviator. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Andrew Spitzer. Next commissionee is Ensign Marshall Van Gundy of Arvada, Colorado.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign Van Gundy graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in integrative physiology. Ensign Van Gundy will be assigned to the USS Michael Monsoor in San Diego, California, designated Naval Surface Warfare. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Marshall Van Gundy. Our final commissionee is Ensign Samuel Zimmer of Castle Rock, Colorado.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Ensign Zimmer graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical and computer engineering. Ensign Zimmer will be assigned to aviation pre-flight indoctrination in Pensacola, Florida, designated Student Naval Aviator. Ladies and gentlemen, Ensign Samuel Zimmer. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Spring 2020 Commissionee class. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Away in the Marine Hymn. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. I thank you for virtually attending.